Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum bil ihsani ila yawmiddin, amma ba'd. So in continuing discussing the book of Al-Risalah, or the Muqaddimah of the book of Risalah by Ibn Abi Zayd Al-Qayrawani rahimahullah, that covers concerning points that relates to Aqeedah of Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah. We'll be now continuing from where we had stopped in the last lesson, and we have covered concerning some of those points that it relates to Iman bil Yawm al-Akhir, and we ended regarding concerning Al-Hawth. So today inshallah ta'ala,
Al-Iman consists of what you say with your tongue, what you believe sincerely in your heart, and what you do with your limbs. It increases with the increase of obedience and decreases with the decrease by disobedience. The statement of belief is not complete without action. Neither the statement nor action are complete without sincere intention. Furthermore, neither the statement nor action nor intention are complete unless they are in accordance with the Sunnah. Explanation. The author states that according to Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, Iman only exists through complying with the following three requirements: a belief in the heart, speech of the heart, which is consistent with the belief in the heart, and actions by the limbs to fulfill what Iman necessitates. Iman cannot be deemed correct otherwise. Allah condemned and admonished hypocrites, promising them severe torment because they used to utter with their tongues that which differed from what they held in their hearts. Allah said in the Quran, إذا جاءك المنافقون قالوا نشهد إنك لرسوله والله يعلم إنك لرسوله والله يشهد إن المنافقين لكاذبون. And it translates to, when the hypocrites come to you, O Muhammad, they say, we testify that you are the messenger of Allah. And Allah knows that you are His messenger, and Allah testifies that the hypocrites are liars. Surah Al-Munafiqun, chapter 63, verse 1.
if so here concerning that what has now been discussed concerning that the author was Ibn Abi Zayd rahimahullah, that now I've gone into a different point or topic, which is matters regarding al-Iman. So the ulama alayhim rahmatullah that I've mentioned regarding Mas'alat al-Iman, one, discussing concerning what is ta'rif al-Iman, so defining what is Iman, that definition of Iman, the word Iman will take place by one, linguistically, what's the meaning of Iman linguistically, and second, what we discussed concerning Iman according to Ashara. So what is meant by al-Iman? So and this is fall under what they call concerning al-Mas'alat al-Asma wal-Ahkam. So this fall under the general topic of al-Mas'ala or Masail al-Asma wal-Ahkam, regarding passing judgment on people regarding that person being Muslim, that person being mu'min, that person being a kafir, and the likes. So the first of those things is discussing, setting some boundaries as to what is said to be al-Iman, what is considered as Iman. So from a linguist perspective, that you have mentioned by the ulama, that you have 2 points or 2 views regarding what is said to be al-Iman from al-Amana. So of the ulama who mention that, and a group of the ulama who take the position that Iman, the meaning of at-tasdiq. So of the ulama who takes the meaning concerning that the meaning of Iman, it is tasdiq. And then a second view, and that is held by many of the ulama of Lugha, Al-Azhari, and others mentioned regarding concerning, that's the meaning that they hold concerning the meaning of Al-Iman or Amana. Then you have a second group, which is followed by the likes of Ibn Taymiyyah and others of the ulama, who take the view concerning Iman, that also it has a meaning regarding that another meaning regarding that is also tasdiq, mat, and yaqar. So a person also to have al-iqrar, so the person have a tasdiq plus al-iqrar. So Iman will be the person that he believes in something, but also is of a firm conviction regarding that matter. So that's concerning what is said to be the meaning regarding Iman linguistically. So that's concerning from a linguistic approach, the linguistic discussion as to what is Iman. The second matter regarding Iman, now that goes into concerning what is al-hadd al-Iman shar'an. So what is concerning al-ta'rif al-Iman shar'an? What is the definition of Iman shar'an? So you find that on this, he mentioned here the definition of Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, ala manhaj salaf. So he mentioned the meaning of Iman according to Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, ala mathab salaf or manhaj salaf. So without also mentioning the meaning of others, of mukhalifin. So those who somewhat go against what the Salaf were upon, that he did not mention there what they hold as Iman is, as not to confuse the reader. So as for this matter, he discussed in brief regarding concerning what is Iman. So with Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, that they define Iman in various ways. So you find that different wordings that are mentioned regarding how Iman is defined. And we mention of the ones that are more common of the definition of Iman in the Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah ala manhaj salaf. So of those who mentioned Iman, qawlul amal, of the ulama, that they mentioned in brief that Iman, at times they'll express the meaning of Iman by saying Iman, qawl wa amal. And this is shari'i meaning. Iman is qawl wa amal. Iman is speech and also action. And then I mentioned a second meaning that is given, Iman, qawl wa amal wa niyya. So a second way of explaining as to what is Iman of the ulama, they will mention Iman, qawl, amal, wa niyya. So Iman is speech, action and intention. A third way of how that they will at times explain what is Iman. They'll mention Iman is qawl, speech, amal, action, and niyya, intention, and fourth that they'll add to it, al-ittiba' as-sunnah. And the fourth thing that they'll mention, ittiba' as-sunnah. So that will be concerned to the person following of the sunnah. So that's also another way of how they define al-iman. Then also they mention a fourth way, another way of how they define al-iman, by clarifying what is iman, where they mention, and this definition is more now popular of recent times. So this definition is more common in recent time, where they mention al-iman, qawl bil-lisan, that iman is speech with the tongue, i'tiqad bil-janan, wal-qalb, that it is belief in the heart, wal-amal bil-jawarih, and actions with the limbs. Yazid bi-ta'atillah, it increase with obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa yanqus bil-masiyah, and also it decrease by the person falling into disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's now the more definition that is more commonly used regarding defining of iman, as gives some more detailed explanation. So that's concerning what is iman. So with iman, qawl, amal, i'tiqad, yazid, it increase, and also it decreases. So that's concerning the definition of Ahlus Sunnah, or what is defined as al-iman. So that's concerning what is said to be iman. And someone try to summarize all of us at iman, qawl, amal, wal-i'tiqad. That iman also is speech, action, and things of the heart of the belief. So that's concerning the ways in the Ahlus Sunnah that they define al-iman, and all of those definitions you find amongst Ahlus Sunnah in the books of Ahlus Sunnah as to how they defined al-iman. But of the primary thing, or the common thing, or the thing that they agree upon, being Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, ala manhaj salaf, that they agree regarding that iman, it consists of those three things all together. Iman is speech, actions, and belief, and that action is a part of iman. So action is a part of iman, where action is not separated. You find that of the mukhalifin, of those who contradict Ahlus Sunnah, who deviate from Ahlus Sunnah on this discussion, where they kind of somewhat they'll define iman at times that iman, that action is a separate part of iman, that they'll separate actions from iman, and that's the view of the Murji'ah in the different forms or names that they may, or different the difference between themselves. So if I'm concerned the Murji'ah, that they all agree, and the Murji'ah is one of those deviated groups, and in the bab of iman, where they do not include actions as a part of iman. And actions, so that's concerning these matters pertaining to the definition of iman, and in line with what is mentioned by Ibn Abi Zayd Al-Qayrawani. So in line is what is mentioned by the author Ibn Abi Zayd rahimahullah regarding how iman is defined. As for those of the ulama who came after, many of whom who have not followed this the path of the Salaf regarding their outlook on al-iman. Aywa.
He exalted be he also condemned the hypocrites in other ayats and various chapters in the Quran, such as in Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Ahzab, Surah Al-Tawbah, which is also known as the Exposing Surah, as it reveals and exposes the affairs and the actions of the hypocrites. Thus it is Thus, it is insufficient to simply utter the tenets of belief by tongue, which the heart does not confirm with what has been uttered. Similarly, it is insufficient for the heart to believe while neither the heart nor the actions of the body reflect what is in the heart. It was for this reason that Allah condemned Fir'aun and his people for denying the message of Musa out of their arrogance, though they believed in its truth and in their hearts. Allah said, وَجَحَدُوا بِهَا وَاسْتَيْقَنَتْهَا أَنفُسُهُمْ ظُلْمًا وَعُلُوًّا فَانظُرْ كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. And it translates to, and they rejected them, while their inner selves were convinced thereof out of injustice and haughtiness. See how the end of the corruptors was. Surah Al-Naml, chapter 27, verse 14. Thus, the heart, the tongue, and the actions should all conform with one other. The duty of the heart is to have conviction and to testify to the truth, while the duty of the tongue is to utter that which is incumbent upon. Among the evidences supporting the aforementioned statement is the Prophet ﷺ saying, "Whoever testifies that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah, while his heart sincerely believes in it, shall enter paradise." Wherein he stipulated the conditions of sincerity of the heart for the speech of the tongue to be valid and correct, and also mentioned previously, it is essential with the tongue put into words is actually what the heart believes in. Moreover, Allah explicitly admonishes and condemns hypocrites for saying the opposite of what their hearts believed. The implication of the definition of Iman among those who define Iman to be merely belief in the heart is flawed and corrupt. The example of the group is the Jami' Murji'a sect. Also, the definition of those who excluded the actions from Iman. Hence, Iman, according to them, is just belief in the heart and the utterance of the tongue. An example of this group is the Murji'a jurist.
So here the author, or the Sharih, rahimahullah, still discussing concerning or mentioning certain points regarding Al-Iman. Regarding concerning Al-Iman, it consists of those things that I mentioned, that qawl, wa'amal, wal-i'tiqad. That Iman consists of those three things that they're intertwined together. So it's speech, belief, and also actions, and that not to separate one from the other. So you might find that some of the Muslims that may separate, or some of those may separate some of those points from others, which is especially concerning matters relating to al-amal. So of those who separate, and they are referred to as the Murji'a. So they are the Murji'a, this group or this approach regarding Iman, and they fall into severe error for this. And the ulama of the past were very severe upon them regarding those who took this path. We refer to as al-Murji'a, and the Murji'a, that this madhab regarding Iman, they still exist today. So they still exist today regarding this viewpoint regarding al-irja, which is not including actions as a part of Iman. So also this matter regarding concerning rulings that are passed on others that concern of the masail that relates to al-Iman, that it revolves regarding concerning passing judgment on others, saying that the person is from Ahlus Sunnah or from Ahlul Islam or not. So that's of those things that relate to this matter regarding al-Iman. So of those main points that relates to Iman regarding concerning that one, regarding maratib ad-Deen, the different levels of the Deen regarding Islam, Iman wa Ihsan. This is included in this discussion, and also to be discussed hukum sahib al-kaba'ir, that regarding concerning those who fall into major sin, as to what's the appropriate ruling for such people as to be discussed. But also with this, a third point regarding passing judgment on others, of saying that a person is a mu'min, or a person is a kafir, or a person is a mu'min, or a person is a fasiq, or a Muslim, or a Muslim. So passing these judgments on others regarding Islam, Iman wa Ihsan is opposite regarding a person from munafiq, or min ahli bid'ah and the likes, then these are the things that one have to be very mindful of regarding passing the judgment, that they are based upon regarding ilm, and also that and understanding things correctly. So regarding these matters that one has to be very mindful, we find in today's time, unfortunate, and exists before, that those people go overboard regarding passing judgment on others. So you find those who go over the board on passing judgment on others. So find regarding that, passing judgment on another Muslim to say that he's a kafir, then this is something that one has to be at. It can occur, but also it should be done according to the rules of Islam. So passing judgment on one being a kafir, this is something which is either the person fall into kufr, either al-kuffar al-asliyah, that are the Jews and Christians, those who are not upon Islam, or passing kufr upon a person, saying that the person who is said to be a Muslim have left the fold of Islam because of things that he is involved in that are acts of kufr, and him falling into these acts, then he has left the fold of Islam based upon, they mention that a person fall in line with certain shurut wa intifa al-mawani. So the person that certain shurut, certain things are in place, and also certain things are removed before the judgment can be passed under the individual. But overall, you find people gone overboard on this. Today they refer to as takfirin or the likes. Then you find those people go overboard also regarding passing judgment on a person that is a fasik. So also those who go over the top, that anyone who does something that they see as contrary to either to what they hold, their viewpoint, or to even to Islam, that they'll quickly pass judgment as a person say, you're a fasik. So those things the person has to be mindful they are passing a judgment on a person, and it's required for the person to understand these matters properly. And then also you find those who are over the top, that they are quick to pass judgment that are concerning from ahli bidah wal ahwa. And all these, and so this also become of the problem where concerning people who passing judgment on others because they may have disagreement between themselves on matters that does not require that level of judgment. So these are things that want to be mindful of. So you find people who are hasty, who are quick to pass judgment on others, then notice something that you have to be careful of. That these are negative signs in people who are quick and hasty in passing judgment on others. And you find that they have a track record of always doing this to those who disagree with them, then that is something which is problematic. And those people needs to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala regarding their judgment and try to be just and fair. So that's concerning of those things that he mentioned here in brief regarding some of these matters. So the person being mindful of passing erroneous ruling upon others. And that's at times from the shaitan. Aywa.
The core of Iman is that the heart, the tongue and the limbs should be in a state of congruity with the testimony of belief. This necessitates actions such as establishing the 5 daily salahs, paying the obligatory alms, zakah, fasting the month of Ramadan, performing pilgrimage, hajj, abstaining from killing the innocent and or taking as lawful sexual relations unlawful men or women. Whoever fulfills the aforementioned requirements will be a Muslim. It was important to realize that not only is Iman the belief in the heart and its verbal confirmation by the tongue, but it also requires that the actions reflecting this belief and utterance be strictly in accordance with Sunnah. Hence, any actions that are in contradiction to the Sunnah, such as innovations, shall be rejected until it becomes sincere as well as in accordance with the Sunnah.
So let's consider what he concluded regarding this discussion regarding Al-Iman and what is Iman. That what is mentioned here, somewhat, he said the explanation somewhat brief, or somewhat brief regarding what is mentioned regarding Al-Iman, as you have found the matters that are normally covered regarding this particular discussion. The first of which regarding what is Iman with Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah. On the next level, they will discuss concerning Al-Mukhalifun, those who go against Ahlus Sunnah regarding how they view of Iman. So you find out those who go to different extreme. From one extreme you have what is referred to as the Al-Irja, those who are somewhat very lenient regarding Al-Iman and how they view of Iman, where they do not include action as a part of Iman. So for them they make it easy for people to fall into sin. Then you have also, so you have the Al-Murji'ah, and amongst those Murji'ah, you have from the Murji'ah, you have those that are said to be Asha'ira, those are Maturidiyah, those are the Murji'ah Al-Fuqaha, and the likes, the Jahmiyyah. And they are on different levels, but all of them, what they share in common is regarding Al-Irja'. So all of those, they share in common regarding Irja', where they do not include action as a part of Iman. Then we have for the next extreme are those who are said to be of the ones who go over the top, and they're the likes of the Mu'tazila, and also second, the Khawarij. So those two that they go over the top regarding matters regarding Iman. By way of that, they pass judgment on other very easily and take people outside the fold of Islam very easily. And of those, so you have the Khawarij, who hold, as to be discussed, anyone who falls in a sin, he have left the fold of Islam and the rule of Islam, and is considered to be a kafir in the dunya and in the akhirah. So from the person falling into a sin, some mention regarding major sin that the person is not a believer, not a Muslim, and have left the fold of Islam, and that judgment is passed upon him in this dunya and also in the akhirah. And then you have the Mu'tazila, who are all concerned that in the person falling into major sin, that the person that is ruled as a between بين منزلتين في الدنيا وفي الآخرة من الكفار. So you have those people who can somewhat have this approach regarding Iman, and they're the ones who go to extreme regarding that they are hasty, that they easily take a person outside the fold of Islam for their shortcomings. That is not to the level of kufr. And the others, that they are somewhat lenient, or the Murji'ah, regarding matters concerning sin. So regarding matters concerning sin, because they do not see that action is a part of Iman, that the person who doesn't perform certain acts, then for them the person is still a mu'min on the highest level. So the fact that you believe, the fact that you have uttered with your tongue, but you may not perform certain action, they see the person as being of the best amongst the Muslim. With his shortcomings and deficiency, they still hold that person to be one who's a very pious, upright, model Muslim, even though he has shortcomings that are well known and apparent. So that's concerning those two extreme regarding these matters. And the middle point is followed by Ahlus Sunnah Wal Jamaah, where they take all the texts and they fit them together and put them in their proper place and order, and give each their proper pass the proper judgment on each according to all those three things being looked at. So that's concerning this matter. The author mentioned regarding the core of Iman, regarding things of the heart and the tongue, a discussion between the ulama regarding the person who leave away any of the 5 pillars of Islam, and which of those will excommunicate, will cause the person to become a murtad and apostate. So leaving the shahada, then that's agreed upon, the person who have left the shahada. Then the next thing regarding the person who does not pray, the person who does not fast, the person who doesn't give zakat, the person who doesn't perform hajj, and they are all capable of doing so, is that person who leave the shahada, is he a Muslim? Those points of the shahada, those actions of the shahada, the shahada, is he a Muslim or not? Or the pillars of Islam. So the person who left concerning the pillars of Islam, is he said to be a Muslim or not? Excluding the shahada. So regarding the acts, salat, person left salat, is he a Muslim or not? Whether he does so intentionally or unintentionally or out of laziness, then there's a discussion between the ulama on those points regarding the one who abandons any of those 4 acts of the pillars of Islam. Is he still considered to be a Muslim or not? Where the person does not pray, the person does not fast, the person does give hajj, perform hajj, or give charity at all. Is he a Muslim or not a Muslim? So that's of those discussion regarding concerning the point regarding matters that of the those matters of the branch matters, or the matter that relates to al-Iman. With that, inshallah, we'll end here for today and continue regarding others of the points that are stated in this Risalah by Ibn Abi Zayd rahimahullah ta'ala. Wa billahi ta'ala tawfiq wa hadi al-sabil wal akhir wa rahmatullahi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.